Welcome back to another episode of Unhinged and Immoral, the Sidebar episodes. We are joined by Smith. Welcome, friend.
Glad
Hi.
to have you. We're over here looking like blobs. Shut up. But
And you decide to pull out your natural blonde hair.
wait.
Yes, it's the
Why?
Creole,
The Creole Banshee
the
bitch.
Creole, the Creole
Yeah, I'm getting ready for the
Targaryen.
chitlin circuit.
Yes.
Yes, Targaryen on my daddy side. Hold the
Uh-huh.
ancestry, only like
Mm-hmm.
twice removed. Like
Mm-hmm.
Storm is my mama, so, you know,
Immediately, yes.
yeah, of
Exactly,
course,
exactly.
definitely. But I'm so happy to be here.
I'm
No,
so
I'm so
happy you
happy
decided to pop
too.
on.
I'm
Listen.
really honored. Can I say something really quick?
Oh
Sure.
yeah.
I want to say like congratulations to y'all too and how much I admire and love both of y'all.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm like fans of y'all and I appreciate y'all so much. And I want y'all to know how special and important y'all are individually and together. And it's just so like it's really, really I don't know, fundamental seems like a strange word to use, but the way that y'all cultivated y'all own separate platforms and niches to where like Mecca, I feel like you've created your own, you turned TikTok into like a Snapchat day in the life vlog style situation that I haven't seen anybody do that's cultivated such a specific community with you that's so impactful
Thank
and it's
you.
so authentic and it's like it's incredible and then like within that the way that your mind works and you go into such deep thoughts and topics with such nuance and depth and so much lore. It's incredible. Like it's
Thank you. Thank
incredible,
you.
and I don't see that anywhere. Like I can't
Thank
pinpoint
you.
anybody else doing that. And then Jamila, like you were so funny. The first video I saw you, which I've been like in my mind, especially this past like election, I was like, I wanted you to do this so bad. It was your video about if you were president, the things that you would have. That was like the funniest and best thing ever. I was like, actually, yeah. Yeah, I vote. Yeah, you
Aw,
got my
thank
vote,
you. Thank you.
Hell
So
yeah.
your name has been on the ballot for like what, 2 years now for me. And it's just so amazing
Yeah.
to see. And obviously like you're so iconic and have been in the game for so long and just have such authenticity and humor and then the Lord production, acting, cinematography. Everything is just so amazing.
Oh
So I
my
want to give y'all's
God. This
flowers and
is
just let
so
y'all know
nice. I really
y'all are
Thank you.
amazing.
appreciate that. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. Like,
Crazy.
Of course, of
wow.
That's
course.
crazy.
Wow. We can end the episode. I'm just like,
All right, well,
that's all
I have fun.
let me pull this wig
No,
off.
I was literally going to say, I once we follow each other on Instagram, I love your Instagram. Like that, I think your Instagram is
Oh,
like
thank
tea
you.
as fuck. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
Thank
know.
you.
I'm like
Mm-hmm.
that shit, chef kiss. I
Yeah.
also have been like, you know how Instagram is different from TikTok. So like TikTok, it's like we talk and da, da, but Instagram is like where you give it, and I'm
You
like,
gotta
oh,
pop your
like
shit.
like not that I didn't think that you were
Yeah.
gonna come like that, but
Yeah.
I said, oh shit.
Oh, like when you saw me. Oh, so you saw me from TikTok, then Instagram.
Yeah, so I knew you from TikTok
What
first.
a. Ugh.
No, right. I said,
It's
oh, okay.
it's a little different.
Fair. But mind you, I was sitting there and I was with Sabrina and I was like, girl, look at Smith's Instagram. This shit is pop. Like this shit is lit as fuck.
Yeah, it's like, look at Smith in them panties.
Like this is I said, what in the paper magazine is going on right
Yeah.
now? I said, yes. It's giving editorial. I'm sorry. I had to
I literally live.
Thank
It be
you.
cracking me up. I'm like, I just love that we all subconsciously know that, like, I want y'all to know that I'm sexy on Instagram, though. Like,
no,
I do
that
want
is
y'all
like
to
the
know
thing.
that.
Like I am sexy
Yeah.
police. I have thoughts and
Like,
like I'll do
remember
the little
that
green
No,
first and
seriously.
screen,
foremost.
It's
but
like TikTok is where we talk mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram. Hey, let me remind you real quick.
Hey,
and
actually,
even when I had said I didn't like
Yeah.
y'all silhouette challenge, and you had said no, I had liked mine, and then that was like a couple weeks ago, and you posted
Yeah.
it on Instagram recently, and I see,
Oh
I was like,
yeah.
I said, oh, actually, I get, yeah, yeah.
Thank you for my. I need to post
Let me
that. I'm
shut
gonna
my
post
dumb
that
ass
today.
up.
please,
I
please.
need
When
to
I
post that
say
because yeah.
no, I was just like the
Hold on.
way that you like set shit up. I'm like, that's the other thing to speak to like creativity of people. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
the angles you be getting, and I guess the stuff that you put together, I would not even think like I my brain don't work like that. Like I always say, like I'm not the picture. Like you gotta pose me, you gotta tell me what to do. You be up there like
bow, 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 do.
What
Bow.
Natalie Nunn say?
Who?
Pose for me. Ass fat,
No
slim thick,
tummy.
no tummy. Except in the morning when I'm bloated. But
I'm
yeah.
crying.
Thank you for noticing that. I really, really appreciate that
yeah.
because I remember when that challenge came out, and that's usually why I'm usually late to challenges because I'm like, okay, cool. How the hell am I gonna do this?
Yeah, right. Let me add a little
Right,
one
but I
too.
have to add a
And
little
then like
something.
how am I gonna freak it?
Yeah.
Especially with that one. What came to my mind was Beyonce's Beyonce, not was it partition video with the
Yeah.
chair. I was like, that's what came to mind. So I was like, let me do both, but also try to merge the two and then give like a little bit. And I also like knows like me being a man, like I don't have boobs. So if I'm gonna do this, I can't just be from the side. It's gonna be I'm shaped like a pea. I mean
Right.
not a pea, but well,
A
a
little B.
lowercase. Yeah, a little B. You know what I'm saying? Like let me work with what I got and
Uh-huh.
really do angles. And modeling was like one of my first loves and passions, like as a kid. So that was part of the reason why I joined the military. But
To
so like
model?
I've always had that mindset, huh?
To model?
To model.
How
So
did
let's
you
get into. I was gonna say,
yeah.
now let's get into that. How
Yeah,
was being in the military? Because I always say, don't date a man in the military.
We
Are,
yeah,
do.
you're
are
right.
you are you
You're
following
right.
it? So
You're right.
what's
You're right. Yeah, you're right. And there in your
Same.
recent military video where
mm-hmm.
you chewed and people the point went way back there.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely love that video so much. Repost immediately. Like no, yeah, but wait, so what's your question? Military? Like, why did I join?
So I was gonna say,
What?
like, how was that for you in the military? But also give a little insight to how ain't shit they are inside of the military, just to be messy.
Okay. Well, unhinged and immoral.
Exactly.
Let's get into it. One. Okay, really quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I look? Do I look at me or y'all? I don't want to like.
You
You
can look
can't
anywhere.
I was gonna say
Honestly,
we
can't really tell.
tell.
Okay,
Because
cool, cool.
I'm
Let me
looking
throw
at
this
y'all.
back.
I'm not looking at my camera. I'm looking at y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm trying to like make it quick. I can ramp it so like give me like a little
No,
burst or whatever like that. So
unfiltered.
You're
Go
on the
off.
ramble
being
podcast.
from out here, I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I don't want to be here. I wanted to model. Model was my goal. I used to go to LA like during the summertime, got family in Inglewood, and I just knew I wasn't meant to be here. I used to watch America's Next Top Model growing up, and like that was my whole thing. Audition for the show, all this and that.
Oh, period.
But I was like, I ain't got the money for it. I was like, I'm gonna go to USC though. And then I'm gonna like be scouted. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be like, something
Yeah.
off TV.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only school I applied to. I applied in January. Obviously, that wasn't smart. I didn't get in. So when I didn't get in, I was like, well, what now? Then military happened. Like there was a recruiter there, of course, because they target low income communities and minority people to
Mm-hmm.
get them to join the military because we're easily perishable and we want to get out of here.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna join the military, use the money I make to save, build my portfolio, move to LA, like get to a base in California and do all that and go that route. Um and Air Force happened. So I joined the Air Force. It just worked out that way. It was better. Everybody was like, no, if you're going, go Air Force.
Yeah, that's what
Cool.
they said.
Then it just when I tell you like my military experience specifically, I want to say before I give everything else,
Mm-hmm.
had a very niche experience from the very start of the military
Mm-hmm.
that most people don't have, and I really have had to like over the past like year or so, even last weekend, talk to like my close friends and other people who are in the military with like, am I crazy? Am I just like dragging it to be dramatic because I am dramatic, or was this actually crazy? And they're like, no, it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So from jump, I I was a cop in the military.
Oh.
I know.
Not the
I know.
police.
I was a cop, which I'm
Now I
allowed.
imagine you like Niecy Nash, like pulling up on
I'm
somebody in like a
crying.
very
Mhm.
tight outfit.
Right.
Like
Something
Yeah,
real
actually, you're
tight and
under
lip gloss
arrest.
and
thick.
everything.
Yeah.
What y'all
Yes,
doing?
yes. Like actually, like that was like something I thought. I was like, am I the Niecy Nash of the group? Is this Reno? Especially like when I got to California, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, it's really giving Reno 911.
That is too funny.
although I hate law enforcement was the worst part to me personally. Like I avoided that at all costs. That was the
Yeah.
worst part because that's where you really got into the cop stuff.
Mm.
So um my experience is it's a black, gay, dark skinned, feminine cop. Like I wasn't even into makeup or anything like that at the time. But coming into military basic training, racism. We had a white side and a black side. But I'm from here, right? So I'm like racism, duh. Like everybody's racist. What do you mean?
And
It's
for
cool.
context, Smith is from Mississippi, so
Oh yes, for context, I'm from Mississippi, from Central Mississippi. Grew up, went to a PWI, but I think that made the racism like more comfortable. Weird
No, I
sentence,
get exactly
no,
what
no,
you
no,
mean.
y'all,
no.
yeah,
You're
It
used
made
to
sense.
it.
It makes perfect
Yeah,
sense.
you just be like, yeah. I mean, I didn't think anything else.
yeah. I was
I know
like, this is
exactly
my
what you
life.
mean.
Like I
Yeah.
know this,
Yeah.
you know. So joining from basic training, racism, we had a literal white, and both our MTIs are white men, but one had a black friend because I remember one day we was like marching and he had a homie and they like dapped each other. I was like, wait, me and like the other black dudes together, we was like, did y'all see that? Oh, he with us. Okay, and the other one was very much so January 6th. And that was our experience from that. And then with being a gay cop, I was targeted like crazy and treated horribly throughout training and had to prove myself. It's that thing of like being black, you have to work 10 times hard. But then being a black, feminine, gay cop, I had to work 100 times hard just to even get the simple respect.
Right.
And that was, I remember I had like days of like crying, breaking down, crying in training, whatever, because it was so tough. One thing I tell people, especially like with me loving movies so much, one reason like Mulan is my favorite like Disney princess and movie. I will watch that movie every single day when we had like this thing called I think it's a bullets or something, billis or whatever. It was like where you go training in the woods and stuff for like a couple weeks. I would watch Mulan every day when I got home because that's how I felt.
Yeah.
So if you saw how Mulan was
The
treated in the movie before when she was like
unknown
trying to get the thing up the pole,
Yeah.
that's how it was for
Yeah.
me.
With all
That's
of
how
your
it
support.
genuinely. Yes, let's get
Absolutely.
down to business.
Business.
I was trying to defeat the Han,
Yes.
Yeah.
and it was
That's a great
tough.
song actually.
Damn.
I love that
Beautiful
song.
whole soundtrack. One of the best
Yeah.
soundtracks
No.
Disney ever did.
Honestly,
They did
yeah.
the
Tore down.
big one.
Yeah.
Christina Aguilera,
Please.
Please.
That white lady blues.
She well
Latina.
oh.
Oh. And there
Now
it
Jamila,
is.
you know you can't be
That's
telling.
I
why
thought she was Caucasian. I don't
she
know.
Aguilera,
white
girl.
passing, white
Oh,
passing,
yeah, white
white
Latina.
passing,
Her and
A
white
Cameron.
white
passing.
Tina.
What's
Black,
her and Cameron
white Latina.
Diaz? Yeah, they're white Latina.
Yeah. But the vocals when you hear, yeah,
Mm.
but yeah, it was based like that. Overall, to more so it was horrible. I describe my military experience when people ask, I'm like, it was the best worst experience of my entire life, and it was hell, but I
Wow.
loved it.
I hear
I'm
that
grateful for it.
so often. Interesting. Like,
Yeah.
my best friend Autumn was in the military. The most random lore of her life is
Honestly,
her jumping into the military.
Autumn joining the military was, mind you, Autumn raps the song at the beginning of our podcast. She's a rapper
Yes.
now,
That's
but she's
Yeah.
also
yeah.
like
So I can.
right. She randomly joined the military.
Random. And what's even funnier, and I be telling her like, I can't wait till you really pop being a rapper and you get to have your interviews and tell the story about how you escaped the military swiftly. And because she got out of her contract earlier than anybody has ever got. I think she broke a record because she was only in for like
What?
3 years. I mean, like in total, there was it was like a very specific thing. I can't remember all the details, but she got out scot free, honorable discharge, and now she's free. And I don't know how the hell she did it.
That's the way to do it.
It was just a
Mind
random,
you,
just
didn't
really
she,
random.
She joined like it wasn't a fresh out of high school thing. She joined. We were little.
Yes.
We were like
She was like
23,
20 something.
Like wrong.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
were
she was
grown.
grown.
Oh,
Like we had been
yeah.
grown
No,
for a
that's
minute.
real random.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Most
I remember I
people,
went
because
on
like in
Instagram.
basic, if you in your 20s, you're like old.
Old as
Like
shit.
you know, like in that group, it's like
Yeah.
we all 18.
Well, because
It's like you in your
don't they
20s.
cut off at 26 or 27, something like that?
No, they changed it. Like for guard people coming to guard, like they be like in their 30s,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
then they
She
just
was
go guard or whatever. But because you
She
still
had
got
to
it
be
worth
like
the basic.
24,
We worked like
maybe
24.
23, 24 when she joined, and we're
That's
28 now. She
interesting.
just got out maybe 2.5, 3 years ago.
No, because there's
That's
a way
very
I will
interesting to go
never
in.
It's
forget.
so
First of
funny.
all, also Autumn is her being a female rapper is exactly what she needs to do if you like know her personality type. So her also randomly joining the military. Obviously, I'm wherever I'm at. I remember going on Instagram and being like,
Hello.
I was like, oh, is she dating a military man? Like, what? She's going through a midlife crisis. Like, that's really what it get. Like from before
Did
I
he
went in.
indoctrinate her?
It was
No,
just so
it literally it
random.
was giving like, are you okay? Like, she's having a mental breakdown.
But mind you, she was like, Mila, I'm going to the military. And then it was like next weekend she was at. I said, well,
She was
damn,
in the
bitch, I thought she was playing. Well, I thought we.
She need the benefits. The benefits are nice.
Yeah,
Listen.
no, and it's like now it's like you. I don't know. Like I always say, she's Forrest Gump. Me and her sister always call her Forrest Gump because she's lived 800 different lives, and it's just like, and now you're just a rapper. Like I live, and I can't wait for that moment to pop so we can really get into like all of the
I
random.
also love when
things.
people get on and you find out they're veterans, like through random little like Veterans Day posts, or maybe they post like their pictures. Of
Yeah.
There's a lot of content creators that it's like,
veterans.
is that the pipeline?
Yeah, it low key. I mean, like low key.
No,
But
she
some of
doesn't.
them, except for the only ones that like cringe me out a little bit are the ones who are like full, like still serving and content creators. I'm like, that's
The ones who weren't really excited to get out.
like, yeah, and
Like,
are
oh, you
still
like
in
it? Like,
still.
oh.
I'm like, well,
Okay.
hey, not everybody's experience is the same, but I always say, when people like ask me, message me, whatever, like the videos I have talking about my military experience or in person, like, hey, it's not for minority people. If you're a black woman, don't go. If you are minority, like black people in general,
I
It's
couldn't even
very
imagine.
hard. I literally, but the sentiment that you echoed is wow. It's the worst, best experience. That's always what I hear because so at Hampton, you know, it's like the biggest naval base in Norfolk, like across the bridge, and so I only fucked with military boys all through college. I didn't fuck with no one at Hampton because it was a small school. No, listen, that's why I like whenever the military men discussion comes up, I'm like, I have stories. I have a
yeah.
lot. Like
Yeah,
I
they're
almost like I got
horrible.
proposed to, but I got proposed to on the we had been talking, and then he got not drafted, deployed,
Deployed.
and you know the extra money, the extra data. We had been talking for like 4 months. Mind you, this happened peak formation. I used to always say when he fucked me good, I take his ass to Red Lobster. This nigga took me to Red Lobster and popped a Pandora ring out over Cheddar Bay biscuits.
That's romantic as hell,
I
honestly, for the
thought
time.
that's what I said. You know what? But
That's
I
romantic.
didn't hate it. Like it
Jamila,
wasn't.
that's romantic.
I would have screamed in
No.
A
tears.
cheddar bay biscuit, a moist cheddar bay biscuit, and then a cute ring with somebody you love. Yeah.
Hello.
That she didn't love that man.
I didn't, but I really,
Oh.
I respected
Well.
the gesture in the moment.
I would have been terrified. Like,
No, I was like, oh, I'm 19, like, lol. I also have like other niggas, like, but he was like,
Yeah.
but once he started explaining it, I was like, oh no, but I'm gonna keep the ring because the
great.
ring is super cute.
it's like, no, I get it for
No,
sure.
I get it.
but,
Like, I wasn't scared away. I kept talking. We're still friends on Facebook.
Because it's going to be, you finna get healthcare, a steady
And
check.
what's so irritating is now hindsight 2020. I'm like, I could have thugged a military marriage. I'm sorry. I was still in college. I didn't give a
yeah.
fuck. You understand? I didn't give a
That's
fuck
so
about that shit
random.
anyway.
And especially, like, then if he get caught up doing something crazy, you can,
Divorce.
Well, actually, no, because they don't really care.
Yeah, you have to
They're
press
supposed
that.
to.
They don't
but,
really
you
care.
know, just don't really
You have to
go
press
that,
that
way.
line.
In theory, it sounds
That's
good,
like that
but
girl who came into our live, who her husband was sleeping with his homeboy in the
Yes.
military.
Yes.
We had a girl come into,
yes.
and she
Who
was.
can relate?
what year was it? I'm playing.
No,
I'm playing.
I'm crying. I'm crying.
was
Mind you,
Well-
she said the little boy was 19. I said,
Yeah, she said this was like 3 weeks ago.
She was like, yeah, he flew him out. He says he's just a friend. I said, girl, your husband is fucking that little boy.
Wait, I think I remember this live. I think I came in on this
Yeah,
part.
you were in this live. Yeah.
I think I came in on
was
this
like,
part, and I was
girl.
So
like,
mad, and it was like kind of bordering on. I feel like you more mad at the little boy than your husband.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, girl, I don't. And then trying to rationalize, I'm like,
No,
He's
your
fucking
husband
him, baby.
is outside of everything cheating on you.
and told you not to come there.
to be honest, that was like, that's part of like, I always say I'm so grateful for my military experience, especially those first years, because I learned so much about the world, life, men, dating,
Mm-hmm.
to where I I look at things from a very realistic perspective, and I'm able to tell my female friends, hey,
You amazing.
uh,
And the
Him
military
too.
yeah,
will, yeah, like
Yeah,
they
him
will
too.
have you like that. I will
you
sit
know, like we're
at
so black.
Hampton, right? Like yeah,
Pack
The
her purse.
conversation we just had.
no, yeah, no. And I got because I was gonna go straight into
I know
so
exactly. Yeah.
one of my best friends at Hampton was a gay boy, and we when I say to this day I hold so much tea. And I don't believe in like outing people, all that shit.
Baby, he
But
spilled.
oh my God, because obviously he was always in my apartment. I was seeing it with my eyes. It wasn't just me getting secondhand information. I'm watching the calls come in. I'm hearing them on the phone, X, Y, and Z. And Hampton's also like a very, it's in the South, HBCU, very conservative school.
Very conservative, very
so,
Christian.
like the Greek boys, they got girlfriends. They're posting their girlfriends. They're parading their girlfriends across campus. On the late night tip, you calling.
on the phone.
You on the phone.
Kikiing and giggling.
And I'm listening to the conversation.
Giggling down.
It's giving, hold on, Mika. Like, no, to the point where that's why I feel like to your point, my view on certain shit, I'll get on the internet every day. Sexuality is a spectrum.
Absolutely.
They get so mad, I'll be like, everybody a little gay. You can't.
That's part of why, like, I
Literally.
tried to change the terminology of like when most like women say like, "Oh, he's gay," or like he's talking to a man like he's gay. Like, no, he's bisexual,
He probably bi.
or like bi romantic or whatever, or by like, something along those lines. Like you said, overarching thing, a spectrum, because. And this is like most of my time when I like saw a lot of cheating and men testing their sexuality, whatever. I wasn't as represented. Like, so I didn't get into makeup until 2016 when I was overseas.
And that makes sense. That's prime makeup era.
Yes, like
The makeup era. Yes.
yes,
Understand.
like I got into like It's My Ray Ray, Missy Lynn, who was in the middle, who was in, you know what I'm saying? So like. And I wasn't even wearing makeup. It was like doing makeup on a friend of mine out there. And I was like, oh, wait, I'm actually pretty good at this.
Okay.
And then it turned into like, oh, I don't have anybody else to do. So she's not around. So, and I moved to California, I moved to Travis. Well, I got stationed at Travis.
Yeah. Okay, that
And so I
makes
was in a
more
dorm.
sense. Yeah. Okay, Travis.
That's where I was, yeah. And so I was in a dorm and I was like, well,
We just beat this face.
yeah. And then it looked good. And I was like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, hell yeah.
And California
And here we
is a
are.
good place to experiment with stuff like that. Like some of the, I always cite like Caitlyn Jenner ain't worth a damn. The bitch is crazy. But obviously when like she came out and transitioned, I cite that as like a turning point in the zeitgeist because it put like trans people on like a different front street than they were before. But like that was in 2016. And when I was in high school in 2011 and 2012, we had a trans prom king and then a trans homecoming queen. So like
What?
some of the
California is.
that's what I was like.
Very advanced.
Some of the stuff that people are I mean advanced. Like I'm talking early 2010s.
That's impressive.
We still had closeted people in high school. Like people wasn't even coming out in high
openly
school.
gay,
Yeah, seriously.
flamboyant boys in high school. Like when I went to Hampton and was hearing language that in California, like you can't say that. I remember standing on the steps of my dorm and I heard some boys say the F word and I said, "Oh my God, like you can't say that." Like, and they were like, "What are you talking about?"
Like, no.
Oh,
Like, we can.
y'all don't get in trouble for that here. Like, oh my God.
No.
So even like
It's
going out in Sacramento specifically, obviously is where I'm from, but like in California in general, this is a funny joke, but like Darrington, when he was living out here, my brother's like really PC. Like something I always get told by like my gay homeboys out here is that your brother is so cool. He just sit here and talk to us, and it's like I don't be thinking about it like that. But we went to this club called Grooves, and like there was there was like a group of guys, and they were like rapping and stuff. And Darrington was like drunk, so he was rapping with them. And someone came up to him and was like, "Hey, bro, they're gay." And Darrington was like, "Oh, okay." But then when we got back, we were laughing. He said, I wouldn't have known a thing. I'm used to my gay niggas in halter tops. I didn't know a thing. Like, and it was the way that he was like, well, good. Well, you know what? I'm glad my niggas in California can be themselves because you know what? They be killing it.
It's different out here.
It's different. And I really like, in the South, you do not see like femme presenting gay men outside in the wild and it wasn't until that situation's funny, but it wasn't until that situation that it made us like we were sitting here talking like Damn, I have not seen no niggas in wigs. Maybe if you go to like the neighborhood, obviously, but even then, not at the
Yeah,
level you do in California.
Yeah, for
absolutely not.
sure.
Especially like, I mean, I'm like, Jamila, like you're in Atlanta, so
Oh, so yeah, baby, well, I'm in the
You know,
city. Baby,
it's
Atlanta is where they come and congregate.
it's the Mecca.
Yeah. It's very much,
yes.
and I do like that aspect of it because even though it's the South, like even though I'm still very much in the South and I'm very used to racism, very used to the homophobia, just all of the small town thinking. Being in Atlanta is almost like a little bubble. Like you kind of get a little bit of a fake escapism in that city because it's a very, very liberal blue city. So we
Absolutely.
kind of get shielded from Georgia.
No, absolutely.
So
And
it's
like
cool.
very black. Like I see
Black as
so
hell.
much like black queer liberation and joy and just like abundance there. Oh, excuse me. It's beautiful to see.
Do
Yeah.
you plan
Are
on
there
It's
gay
staying in
beautiful to
clubs
see.
in
Mississippi?
Mississippi?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, so like, tell us about
I
Mississippi.
think
Yeah.
there's one, but I don't go out, so
Okay, is that
yeah,
somewhere?
PTSD babes.
Do you want to stay in Mississippi, or would you want to move to somewhere like Atlanta?
Now you know damn well. You think I'm gonna give me a acre and a mule out here?
It's time to settle down.
No. So, well, okay. I'm a breeze through. So I moved to the south. I moved back home to like regroup and stuff like that after living in SAC. And wait, let me backtrack. Okay, so I separated from military 2020.
Okay.
Right before the election. Well, yeah, my birthday and my separation time was literally like 2 days before the election, or whatever. So I moved to SAC. I was out civilian life, stayed downtown, and
Ooh.
had like a way too expensive place.
Yeah.
Which is why like I know so much about SAC because I was out there for like over a year, and I fell in love with the man in Atlanta,
As one
and
does.
yes, and he was amazing, and the plan was for me to move like just directly with him. But I was like, no, I'm gonna go home and I have some stuff to take care of here, whatever, need to like get my funds in order and stuff like that. So as I moved south and then we stopped talking for a little bit, it was bad. Anyways, moved here and he passed away. So suddenly, yeah.
No.
He passed away suddenly and so like now Atlanta is like,
Oh.
I'm good. It's not like I'm okay.
Dang,
So
I'm sorry. That
I'm
sucks.
thank you. It's okay. It's everything happens for a reason, you
Yeah.
know? And it's like I was shown the best love. So like I know it's possible.
Yeah.
That's yeah. And I can like tell like the testimony, like talk to like other little gay boys and like don't settle.
Yeah.
Like, it's
And some
possible.
Yeah.
people never experience that just in general. So like I'm glad you
Yeah.
just got to experience
I'm
that
really,
even for a
yeah,
short
no,
time.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you said that, and I am glad you got to experience it because I do oftentimes feel like, at least with my gay homeboys, you don't hear that part about, like, you hear niggas ain't shit, and obviously, like, as girls, we sit and talk niggas ain't shit, but I'm
Right.
like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, I can't think of a time where someone's been like, "Ugh, I was so in love and I was loved correctly and he was amazing." So I'm really glad you
Hmm.
said that, like, it definitely is possible. In fact, you
Especially
said
like
you
in
go
this way.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
in my like full like femme form, like and he was the like what you wouldn't expect, I
yeah.
guess. I
Yeah,
don't know, like
so
no,
how
you
do you
know.
feel about like pivoting? How do you feel about like the politics of like, I just be on Twitter, no
With like
facts,
within the
no
gay community.
femmes, no like like how they have the politics of like how you're supposed to present. Do you feel like not judged, but if do you feel like it hinders you in some way or it slows motion? Because I just from the
Mm,
outside looking in, obviously like I'm just an ally and I have friends, but on one hand someone like you who's femme presenting is so like accepted by women. We're like, oh my god, yes, T. But then when you get into like when you really start talking to niggas and then you're talking about dating, they're like, oh no, they don't like us. I'm like, what? Everyone loves
Yeah,
y'all.
I've learned so much, and I'm like, what?
like femme, like that they don't like
Like
femme.
femme, like femme
Like there's just
makeup.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
a connotation or what have you. Like, how do you feel like
Hmm.
that affects your dating life overall?
Mm, I well, I love y'all show that is called Unhinging the Moral. Because I feel like I'm a realist. I'm a real ass bitch, and that's part of like why I run my mouth online, and
Mm-hmm.
like to say things and be very direct and speak a lot of times to like younger gays, because like it was just a recent situation where there was I don't know if y'all thought it was like a young black man, and when he said that he don't like black men, like he don't prefer to date black men, he prefer like white men or
Yeah,
whatever
I saw
and stuff
that.
like that, and he was my grinder, and they not found him attractive. You gotta be real
Mm-hmm.
on the apps. Before I started film presenting, whatever, I was already like barely getting emotion because I'm dark skinned
Mm,
and a little film presenting. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already, and like knowing the stats and knowing like in this society and in the community, I'm not conventionally attracted to these people.
mm,
And I was like way more slim, less muscular, whatever, certain bills. So I'm all like, knowing where you stand
Mm-hmm.
in things to where like your options are going to be less. Then when you aren't as sexually forward, your options are going to be less. And then when you like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you add all your
correct.
minorities together and knowing where you
Yeah.
stand, it gives you a certain peace of mind, um, to where like in a way I don't know how to answer it because I know the answer, but like I think I've like made peace with just who I am
Mm-hmm.
and knowing what I deserve, but also understanding that the same thing can go for cis women like y'all who are beautiful women who are confident and have personalities that can be intimidating. And a lot of times when you have somebody living in their truth completely
Yeah.
and understanding things on a deeper, nuanced level, where you get into things like two spirit, to where you don't feel ashamed of embracing your femininity and how that can be intimidating to somebody else, it's gonna lower your options and your chances,
Yeah.
and you may not be the hot shit, you know what I'm saying? Or you may have people who only want to pursue you for sexual things. And if that's not where you are, then it's okay. You're probably gonna go home alone sometimes.
Mm,
And I navigated those ways to where I wasn't really like, especially more so I speak like the sack when I was like actually going out.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really in the gay clubs like that because just didn't want to put myself through that type of situation to where it would
yeah.
be some type of competition or let down because of, or then I would have to be a fetish for somebody or specific, like, or I'm a drag queen or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or like they want that, that's what they seek out specifically, which is why I personally say and proud, like I prefer and like to date bisexual, pansexual men who are more open to all different types of things and just see you as a person.
It makes
Because
sense.
from my
Yeah.
experience, those things, those people, they see you as human beings.
And not
And
like an
for what,
object or
even though I personally can't relate to that psyche,
Yeah.
I can appreciate and that's something that I desire and need. And knowing that it's possible and it's having experienced that, I want every other young gay femboy to know like it's possible and you can stand your ground. You can be as feminine as you want to be and have your quirks and things and nerdiness or whatever about you that make you you and also standing your truth. And it's okay if it's not like appeasing to the rest because those are the same people who are also miserable on the inside.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Truly,
a
like
really
that's also it
yeah.
comes with a peace of mind of like knowing these people and being in those groups and like running in them circles for a couple years. Those people are miserable,
Yeah.
truly, and the relationships are empty and
Wow.
surface level, baseless.
That's
Yeah,
some
so
really
it's like
good
you're not missing
insight. And
out.
interestingly enough, I like how you said it almost kind of mirrors the black female experience of
Mm-hmm.
dating because I think that we have a very similar just experience of maybe just I can just speak for myself. I know growing up, I never felt like I was necessarily the prize pick, especially because in high school I went to a school where it was a lot of white girls and the black boys liked the white girls. And then also on top of that, my personality is very here. I'm loud. I'm a little ghetto. I'm all these things.
Right.
And I know that. And it, I recognize how that translates to men. And even fast forwarding to present, it's interesting because we had a similar conversation yesterday on our
Yeah.
podcast.
I was
I
really that's
was,
what I was about to bring up. Like,
yeah, like we were talking. I was kind of expressing how like I notice all the time how who I am at my core, how that translates to men, and how it doesn't always allow the relationships to last in any capacity because it kind of turns them off. But it's funny to me when I think about it, because it's like I do be a lot, but it's like, I mean, I can't help but be who I am, and like I'm not
Right.
interested in like bending and twisting, and I because I just now more recently within the past even 3-4 years have recognized that it's like it just is what it is, and I'm whatever comes my way, I'll go from there. Like I recognize that I'm not the quiet girl in the corner who's just so dainty and so cute and
The
so
more
perfect and so
Just like
quiet. I'm
mysterious.
just so her. Like
We all
I
can't
just
be
am
Alicia
her.
Cara, okay?
Like I'm not
never
that
that.
girl, and it's okay. So what I'm saying, I'm gonna work with what I got. You know what I'm saying? Whoever's gonna take me as I am, we'll go with that.
I'll be
Absolutely.
honest, I really love what you just said because it gives like such big sister mother energy, and it reminds me of like T.S. Madison. I like
Yes.
love T.S. Madison and been keeping up with her for like
Mm.
years and years. And one thing that bitch is real like about like
She's so
I feel like
real.
so often with any isms on the internet, people they want to do like the best possible scenario. Like, yes, the world should be like this, but I do think that you got to give advice and look at shit from a vantage point of like, okay, but what's going on right now in this exact moment that's going to help people right now in this exact moment? Like, you can talk about how it should be, that's cute, but like, what's happening right now? And a lot of times, I mean, even myself, I've gotten caught up and been in trouble on TikTok a whole bunch of times for being like, well, right now in this exact moment, this is what's going on, and this is what I'm telling y'all about right now in this exact moment. So
Let's just rip the
I
band-aid off and be real for a
literally
Are we
second.
talking about dream scenarios or the real world?
Hello?
hello. Like I actually love getting around people who think like that and
Yes.
think like that with the mind of like, yes, I do understand that it should not be like this. And part of the reason I'm telling you how to navigate this in like a very real way is because maybe eventually it won't be like this, but I'm not finna bullshit you
Yeah, because
and
I feel like that's setting you up.
for
It's
failure.
setting you up.
It
Yeah,
sets you
don't.
up for failure, heartbreak, and some type of like hurt. Just
And
hurt.
even to what we were talking about yesterday, Jamila, I like what's been said about like not settling because like certain amount of love is out there for you. This is kind of what I was telling Jamila. I was like, yes, it's you're gonna run through niggas, and when I say run through niggas, like you're gonna start talking to someone and they're gonna do something, and you're gonna stop talking to them because you're standing so hard on these boundaries. But then when you run down on the person who actually like fits all these criteria, that is like literally the nigga who's gonna do all your things. Why settle for someone who's going to do 3 out of 10 things when if you just wait and be
Exactly.
patient, you can find a nigga who's gonna do 10 out of the 10 things that you need him to do.
Exactly. And that's why I just am so like anti-settling. Like, so I'm like, I don't even have the concept of getting in a relationship, because it's like I refuse to be in a bad one. Like I've been there, done
Truly.
that, and I'm not going to be with the guy who is not all of those things. Like I always say, like I'll get in a relationship when the nigga is perfect, and I don't care if that sounds unrealistic. Like, and when I say perfect, obviously I don't mean like
You mean for
by the
you?
worldly standards. I mean perfect for me, of course. It's like
Yes.
I truly mean that. Like I don't care. Like I don't care if that means that it's gonna take me until I'm 40 to get married. I really don't care. Like I am not about to just be with any random nigga just to say I got a man. Like no. Like he
Like it's
has
not a
to.
prize. It's
It's not.
okay.
Like he
Honestly,
got to be all of my
I
things.
think it comes from like also having that level of contentment within yourself because like I'm so, content and whatever. I be chilling. So I like letting someone in my space who is not all the things I want, that's going to be a headache. Like that don't even seem fun. Right? Like
And it's also it's like a so I have a few things, like three things, three marks on it. So one, I think it's like for what Jamila was saying and the start, like what both of y'all said, like just knowing yourself and having standards and not settling. The way I look at it and like try to tell myself and other people is like, okay, so imagine you bend yourself and pull back some of the things, like maybe you love to wear makeup but you don't because you know that this man don't like it as much, or you don't do this and that, or you're not as loud, you're not as personable, you're not as like outgoing because it puts them off. So but the relationship is so enjoyable when it's good. And then 10 years down the line, some shit go left and they leave and you're filled with resentment. Or because of 10 years of like you bearing parts of yourself, now there's so much resentment to where it's over and it's 10 years of your life.
Yeah.
10 years that you got to get back to of yourself
mm,
and that you denied yourself of being truthful and happy. I would much rather have 10 years, 10 plus years, or all those years of me being who I am, full out, full throttle, than like reducing myself for somebody else's happiness. That's not even gonna be like it's not fair. Because if you want that, go get that somewhere else.
Hello.
You know? And then two, um, there was this book I read. Oh my god, The Game of Desire by Shan Boudram. I'm not sure if y'all
Oh,
familiar with her.
I love Shannon.
Love her
She's my
so
favorite.
much.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the sex lady? She's has curly hair.
Yes,
Okay, yes, I actually know exactly
yes.
who that is.
I always recommend this book. I recommend this book to y'all,
The
like
Game of
anybody
Desire. I'm gonna
watching.
type that in.
The Game of Desire
Okay.
is such an incredible book. She takes, I think, like 5 or 6 women, and I believe they're black women, women of color for the most part, at least. And they go on it. She does this experiment with them, and there's so many things I took from that I uh applied to my life, even like, as a gay man. It worked, and it helped a lot. And like one of the things that made me think of that where it's like you saying like if you have like 10 things like about yourself or something like that and they hit a certain number. So in her book she talks about having a frozen five. And your frozen five, like I would assume like, well, I don't want to assume, but so, like one could be you gotta want kids.
Oh, like your standard type of thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
like your
frozen
frozen
five.
five.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, yeah. So that's I'm like, well, okay. So Jamila, like, you have a kid. So I'm assuming your frozen five would be you got to be
Got
okay
like
with a
kid at
kid.
least. Yeah, yeah.
Like you have to be accepting of my child. Frozen non-negotiable. Another non-negotiable. You have to have some type of like spiritual grounding. Three, you have to like be against 50-50.
Yes.
So it's like those certain
Yeah.
5 things that are your non-negotiables, and it also talks about physical attraction actually being important when it comes
Yes.
to like the first
So
interaction,
important.
and also dynamics and how to like approach people. And it helped a lot of like with dating and me being a very forward person, like me being friend presenting in situations and navigating conversations. And it helped a lot being in Sacramento, practicing a lot of this in the Bay Area and everything, with like talking to men and approaching, and where you kind of play mind games with men to where you make them think that they're in control. Whereas like if you want them to have some type of like lead in the conversation, also to test the water that they're interested, like we're at a bar, like, hey, what do you suggest? What do you think I should get?
Yeah.
And it's like they offer you something and now they feel like they've helped you. And because they feel like they helped you and if they keep the conversation going, you may be in there. Stuff like that. Just little things, just random, like just threw that in. But that book is great and it taught me a lot about like my boundaries and set things that I have to have in order to even consider a relationship with somebody. And if it's not that, I'm already gonna put you in a certain like we can be cool.
No.
And being okay with that and being okay with being alone.
Yeah.
And then third, practicing those things, and a big part of that personally was abstinence, which was
Like
which is not easy.
It's not.
Yeah.
I be abstinent between my things.
Well, it counts.
We could call that abstinent. Currently, I'm abstinent. It's been like 2 weeks.
I mean, I was abstinent for a year, so I do think it did a lot for my. My experience with abstinence is like your experience with the military. Best worst time of my life.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like me being abstinent is a reason why, like, I'm, again, taking it back to the episode we did yesterday, I'm so strict. Because the one thing about dating when you're abstinent, you get a lot of the fluff out of there. Like, you go on a date, oh, I'm abstinent, nigga's not calling you again. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So very much,
Yeah.
it makes it easy for me to be like, oh, okay, well, bye. We'll never talk. Like, because
Like that's what you wanted me
that's
for.
what you want.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Like that is just what it is. And so
Yeah.
it's like the way that I suggest it is do it, but from everyone I've talked to, they come out on the other end stronger on their boundaries. Like that's crazy that you said that because it just makes you so. It opens your eyes because honestly, fucking can cloud your judgment. Like, let's be real.
Oh, for
if a
sure.
nigga's dicking you down as you
For
should be
sure.
dicked down,
You
it
just
can
be
get
like,
very.
well, it ain't that bad.
It's not that bad. It's
Right.
not that bad, right?
Right, yeah.
There's none of that to fall back on. You
Before.
Right.
Before. Because I think, in my opinion, I feel like once you do a big abstinence stint and you get back into it, it's never the same.
Yeah.
Like you can have amazing peen, but you're not gonna fall. But in my viewpoint, you won't be able to fall. It won't be as easy to fall back
Yes.
into like bad habits
Yes.
because it's still like, well,
Are you
I've done it
currently
before. I
still
can do it again.
abstinent?
Yeah.
How long has
But
that
also,
stint been?
Over a year.
3 years? Oh, you are strong, soldier. My
He is a
Lord.
soldier.
but
A
I turned 30
definite
this
soldier.
year, so I've decided like I'm not turning 30 a virgin.
Well, let's bust. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
Honestly,
break
I'm a
that
born
virginity
again
news.
do
virgin.
you?
Yeah, exactly.
Now when
I
when y'all hear me say I'm a born again virgin, I'm Smith
Well,
the
yes,
virgin.
that's how the
That's why.
physics works. Yeah.
I came off
That's
of
why.
my abstinence
Wow.
stint. What was that?
Oh wow.
New Year's of 2023. I met a man from Trinidad in the club, and I let him eat me out in my homegirl's car.
Well, Trinidad and then Trinidadian and then yeah, I would as well.
Like the way I came off and it's not funny because like well, it is funny, but my friends knew I was abstinent. So when they found out, it was like, that's how I said, I told you guys I was doing a year bid. I was
Just
doing,
trying.
and it changed me because no, exactly what you said about like, even if someone like, that was a good point that I haven't even thought of, because I'm sitting here like, oh yeah, I actually have gotten like some really good peens since coming off, but I'm also able to be like, don't like you like that. Like, because when you sit there and actually got to talk to niggas, you irritate
They
me.
have
This is not gonna.
nothing
It's like
between their
And
ears.
I've had time of peace, so like I can go back to that. It's fine.
literally, it's fine. I'm not. I don't fear it. Like I don't. And plus, I got a rose. Bitch,
Well, I would do nothing for me, but yeah.
honestly,
But yeah, like
I ain't gonna lie. I do be liking to pull out a little bullet and put on the balls and then make niggas scream. Okay, so don't knock the
I
little
love how
nigga,
my pussy
please.
love me. Play with it for a little while, then fall
Yeah.
asleep. As a jeweler that can't make her crown shade like a V because she's a queen and she need a little bling. Two fingers give me peace. That was for Aubrey. Love you, bougie. My fellow hottie.
Literally,
Yeah,
that's just some free
yeah.
game, y'all.
I am weak.
You ain't got
Yeah,
Free
you
game.
know.
free game.
Oh, and also a free game. Well, and then there's more. Okay, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
A great thing I would. Can I talk about like sex?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. If you haven't done this, Megan Thee Stallion is great at giving sex tips in her songs. So she has a lyric where she says, "What she said? I can't. It's something. I want to look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. Like I want to see your face while you in it. If you're somewhere like a bed or in a hotel or whatever, and there's a mirror off the bed, put that man, sit him down, have him off the bed, and you like twerking, riding, and have him look in the mirror." I don't know why, but like you're not have him look in the mirror from a different angle of what you're
Oh,
So he
doing.
can see all the
what's
things.
From a different,
so
because right, if he's just
yes,
like this, seeing you
yes,
have him look in the mirror,
Write that
yes.
down. Write that down. Write that
What's
down.
it's
insane
fab.
is I have like a 7 foot mirror in my room and a half since I was in my early 20s, and the reason I know exactly what you're talking about is because I get down to business. And the way I on some spooky dooky shit, you're not supposed to have your mirror facing your bed, but if someone's coming over, that mirror positioning changes.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Niggas get off while they're hitting it from the back and all of a sudden they're looking over in the mirror. Yeah.
I don't know.
Now there's
It's
an angle.
crazy. It's crazy. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think it's the song Sex Talk or Big Ol' Freak. I'm pretty sure it's Sex Talk though. Sex Talk or Big Ol' Freak. How they tap into the lyrics because
Megan be getting
Hot Girl Coach really be
tea.
giving
Megan
like
is
it's
also
tips.
flexible. I'd be like, Megan, baby, my leg not gonna go up there.
That's
Yeah,
why you
my
gotta
knees
do
be
Thank you.
popping.
Pilates.
I'm
My
gonna
knees
start
pop.
Pilates very soon.
You
I
have to do
actually
Pilates.
should be going next week. This studio hit me up, so I'm gonna be going next
Okay.
week and starting my Pilates journey. I'll be documenting it.
That's also
So I
that'd
should
be
be hitting
fab.
a
why I
split
like a
in
big
3
ass
weeks.
nigga.
Bow.
Because when you're riding a bigger guy, like you can rest on his.
Cushion.
Yeah, it's cushioning. Whereas someone who's very thin, you're gonna have to tap into more of that thigh strength, and it's a lot harder.
That's probably like my only thing I really like. I don't have a type. It's just
Same. I said the same
any.
thing. Oh,
They be having 17 pounds of dick though.
Yeah, and what am I gonna do with that? Are you trying to assault me? Like,
Wait, come on, wait, listen.
are you
Somebody
trying
was
to
like,
assault
"Oh,
me?
he
That's
got
a
11
weapon.
inch." I was like, "Baby, y'all size queens can have that."
11 is
Where's you
That's a
finna put
weapon.
insane.
that?
That's a weapon.
You're not.
I'm
putting
telling
that
you
in
right
me.
now, I'm not accepting all of it.
That's part of why I can't do nothing out here. It's something in the water out here.
They just all boom, boom, boom.
Let me change. Let
Yeah,
me change
yeah.
my Hinge location because I'm gonna
It
be there on Saturday.
it actually
But
might be in the
and
water for
also,
sure.
Jackson State is like top 5 for HIV.
Oh.
Oh,
So, and like there's a
that's a
lot of,
fucking fun
yeah, there's like
fact.
a syphilis. Yeah, it's I hear it's very, the streets are very, there's
Ain't
people
nobody
aren't in the
wrapping
clinics.
up.
People aren't in the clinics.
The
That's a
problem is
shame.
honestly. So, whoa, that's crazy that you brought that up. All of my special interests colliding, much like food deserts. You have clinic
Yeah.
deserts. And that's why you have like low income areas that have like what you're talking about, these high outbreaks. Not because everyone's necessarily slutting it up more than like the average city, but because they don't have access to like
There's not as much
treatment and all these
resources.
different things.
Yep.
And like that absolutely does matter. Like,
And the conversations, and there's so much stigma around, like, it's so quiet out here, everything is so hush hush.
Yeah,
Especially like
we
moving
talked
back.
about that on the pod too, about how the conservatism of it all. Why do I get a call every podcast from the same 800 number?
why
Like,
don't you
are y'all
answer?
trying to?
They know that you're making
They're
your
watching.
money right now.
You know, they
so.
got multiple phones. But yeah, we actually talked about this exact thing on the podcast too, about how conservatism is leading us down a hole of fucking us up health wise, because they're not encouraging
Absolutely.
sex ed, they're not encouraging safe sex, because they just don't, they're trying to act like people don't have sex all of a sudden. Like, no, bitch,
When we were in
they're
college,
fucking.
when we was in college, they literally would tell us you need to get tested after every partner. Like now, people are now like literal medical rhetoric is saying only get tested if you see symptoms. That's not even how I was raised or what my teachers told me.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's
especially
insane.
because a lot of men don't share the same type of symptoms as women. A lot of times they don't show symptoms at all. That's why they be spreading it so quickly.
And also, I think it's I was just talking to my provider about this because, like I said, I've decided that I'm gonna lose my virginity this year. So I went and did my panels and everything like that, and got back on prep. And we were talking, like, me and her were so cool. She cool as fuck, older black woman, and we were talking about how a lot of women aren't familiar with like prep and aren't on prep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I be trying to tell my homegirls, like, hey girl, are you on prep? For real.
No, if you're outside, you should be.
Like, if you on birth control, you can be on
You
prep.
should be on
It's the
prep.
same blue pill. Take that little pill.
You can take. Oh, so
Very
can you double
valid.
it up and just make it one, or can you do the two? Either way, you can.
What do you mean?
A birth control prep pill?
No. I'm saying, like, it's
Oh,
not
it's like the same concept.
it's just the same concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take it the same time every single day, and if you have unprotected sex and you come in contact with somebody who's HIV positive and it's not undetectable, you won't contract it. Well, 99, 90
Yeah.
is percent,
Yeah,
you
no.
won't
Prep
contract it.
has helped
So
a lot.
yeah.
Unfortunately, with this new administration, they're trying to cut back on making prep so accessible, which is like,
Which is
why would y'all do
insane.
that? Because it's like the things that they do, just outside of them being Republicans, right, and stupid, they just logically don't make sense. Like, why would you limit something that is preventing people from catching an ailment that is lifelong?
Because they still see it as a gay disease, and it's affecting more cis, heteronormative, hetero forward people, which is why I encourage so many women to get on prep, because
Yeah.
majority of the, like, if I do hop on the apps or whatever, or just even in person encounters, like, there's a man in my gym who's married who made it clear that he was interested. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not, no, I'm sorry, my morals are strong now. Sorry, I can't. But like,
Morals are
Heavy on the
strong,
now.
You
my
caught
morals
me
are
at
strong. Like, I can't do
caught
that,
me at a
babe.
bad
Sorry.
time.
20 minutes ago, maybe. But it's just like, it's so common
Yeah.
that, and like, I don't, y'all got the girls and the dolls in y'all friend groups. A lot of these men are very, like, when they go cheap, they're going to the glory holes, they're going to like the adult bookstores, whatever, and there's not, like, when you putting the thing to the hole, you're not putting it in there with protection around it. You're not getting a BJ like with a condom on. And most of the time, like, they're going to cum dumps. And when they're going to these cum dumps, like, majority of the cum dumps that I know personally, most of their, like, not clientele, because it's just like, come as you want. It's literally come as you want. I don't even tell your name. I don't even need to see your face.
Wow.
Just come in, the doors open, and boom, shakalaka. And these are men who go home to their wives, and they're not wrapping it up before they go in there. You know what I'm saying? Wives, girlfriends, or whatever. like, I kid you not. I
And that's
think
why I tell the girls, keep getting tested even when you are in a fucking relationship.
keep getting tested, get and be on prep, because testing can only take you so far. And also
Yeah.
get into DoxyPep. DoxyPep, if you get into a situation and like you're not on prep, you have DoxyPep on standby, where you take that, and I think it's like herpes, gonorrhea,
Like the
syphilis,
oh,
whatever.
that's what they give you. Like if you unfortunately like would do like a rape kit, they'll give you like the things to kind of
Yeah,
protect you from all things
pretty
like
much that.
that.
Yeah, and now you can have it like I'm pulling over there because I got my bottle just in case. I'm
Wait,
Jason,
no,
okay.
I ain't never heard of
You
Doxy
ready to lose that? Be
Doxy
like
Pep.
I'm prepared.
No, I'm so like, and I'm
Exactly.
so like when I try to be very very intentional, because
Yeah.
before I decided to lose my virginity the first time, I was dating a man who was HIV positive, undetectable, and he taught me so much,
Wow, that's
like
good.
so much, like just about that. And we never had sex, obviously, but because I was still like a virgin at the time, whatever. But we were intimate other ways, whatever. But he just taught me so much. And I remember my mom, like, I called her and I was like, yeah, I mean, he was this amazing guy, whatever, whatever. And I was like, yeah, he's HIV positive, and she like freaked out, of course. So the mom, and I was like, no, like, this is what this means. This is this. And at the time, I wasn't even on prep yet. I don't think so. But anyways, yeah. So it's Doxy Pep. And
Gotcha.
Doxy Pep is
Doxy
the
Pep.
day after type situation within like 72 hours or something.
Like a little plan B.
Yeah.
Period.
Basically, it's like, yeah, basically a plan B for STIs, STDs.
Period.
And yeah, and there's also, if you don't want to do the pill, there's like a shot I believe they have now that lasts like 3 to 6 months or
Okay.
something like that. And with those, you have to get tested every 3 months. When you're on prep, you have to get tested every 3 months, so you're consistent, because it can show up. It can't, like, if you can be positive, but it cannot show up that first test, but 3 to 6 months later it can show up. And so that's also why I think it's important to be on those things, because you have to get tested consistently, whether
Yeah.
you're active or not. If you haven't been active since January 1st and you get tested in March, you seem to go get back tested in June, July, because whatever happened in January, maybe we didn't show up on that test. You know what I'm saying? So it's like so important. I like for anybody who's active, male, female, non-binary, cis, whatever, is so important, especially because you never know.
Yeah.
And if you're not having conversations with people, and that's also why I think it's so important for more women to become like more, which is so weird to say. Like, I hate saying it because
It is what it is. We
I
real.
hate putting so much on women and like especially black women, but that's why I think it's so important to have conversations about bisexual men
Yeah.
This
No,
is
and
the
make it
thing,
like a
self.
comfortable thing.
It's
yeah.
self-preservation above everything, and so. But the thing is, self. So the onus is on me. It's on you. It's on like to make sure that like I'm taking care of myself. So it's in some regards like it is on me. But I think I love conversations like this because I think that these conversations are important. They should be happening way more often than they are. Like even the fact
Yeah,
that
and
you
in
just
such
told
a
me what
casual
DoxyPep was,
state.
and I would consider
Yeah.
myself very forward. Like, oh, I go get tested, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And I've never heard of that.
Same.
Like these are the things.
Yeah.
Because they try to just keep
I
it
love
like
it. Like I said,
to
I only
us.
knew it because of when someone goes to get a rape kit. I know that they get that plus the plan B to protect them from those. So that's the only way I knew about that. So I didn't even know that was really readily available to everyone.
I saw it on the Twitter, guys. That's how I
No,
found
but
about it
I
first.
love it.
Like,
Sexual
it
safety.
was
People are not going to stop fucking. So I really just don't understand. Well, I do understand because conservatism feels like everything's going to become Sodom and Gomorrah. But babes, it's going to be Sodom and Gomorrah regardless. You get what I'm saying?
it's
Like
and
y'all
it's
are
been
hiding.
that.
Y'all, like you said, you're hiding it, and you're going home to your wife. Whereas,
Yeah, and it's like, what does that do? We've seen
It's
what
been
that's done.
that.
Actually, we've actually seen how that lifestyle of being a super conservative, pretending these things don't happen. We've seen how that what turns out, because what happens is we see actually a rise in teenage pregnancy. We see a rise of STD contractions and all of these things. We see this happening. So why are we trying to pretend like being a staunch conservative is the way to preserve the American family? Like, no, actually, it's doing the complete opposite.
I absolutely agree, and I think it is in an interesting way. Um, there's so many parallels with that when it comes to like right wing conservative, like when it political conservative, but there's so much conservatism within our own communities that harm us.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, like with as far as like with women and black women, where it's like a man is more feminine or whatever, or he has like a thing like, oh, he's sassy, he's gay, and it's like, well, no,
Yes. Like,
not
I don't
necessarily.
know what. I swear, like, I blinked one day and I started to see, because of course I know that there are black women that are homophobic. That's an obvious thing that happens. But the internet has made it more prevalent, I feel like, to and more comfortable. Kind of like how the R slur is circling back. Like, things are starting to come
Really weird.
backwards. And so now I'm seeing like a lot of black women who you would traditionally think, because of the way that they speak, the people that they follow, the things that they would typically say, you would think that they would be a quote unquote ally, but then they would circle around to say these kind of homophobic things about men. I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a
It's
minute.
like soft
What
homophobia,
happened?
if that
Yeah,
makes
it's like,
sense. Like
but
it's
it's
Yeah.
not
it's really a
outright,
gateway.
but it'd be like, sister, this is a bit,
Yeah, that's
you know.
You
you're
know,
on the pipeline. I hope you
Right, right. It's the
know.
first stop on the pipeline, not full few
Yeah,
feet in,
yeah.
but you're dipping your
I
toe.
don't
Like,
I don't name drop.
Ooh.
Well, I do, but well, sometimes when I got to protect my peace because there's a certain name I like. It's off topic from this. Kind of. Well, not well, and she was at the okay. Oh my god.
The drama.
this reminds me of the one Britney's meme, like,
Right.
Like it's
Perhaps.
because and like the ADHD, and I'm like, oh my god, whatever. But anyways, because it is the question. I was like, maybe like when I should have asked like when we cut the camera or something like that because it's a question I want to know if what y'all think about it, if I'm bugging or if it's some tea, because I think it's some tea, honestly, especially 'cause I heard some tea from.
Ooh.
Sorry, it's way off topic, but it's off topic. It's prevalent because the Super Bowl coming up. Anyways. What was I saying? Okay, so with the soft homophobia, put a pin in that, please.
I will. I promise you.
So,
I'll let you know when we stop recording.
so, um, when it comes to that, one of my first big viral videos from TikTok was I can't remember even a word of what I said because it was like 2022, I think, or 2023. But Jay Nice, this is the lore behind it. But I pretty
That's
much
the
asked, I
cooking
was
girl,
like,
right? She be
yes, with the
cooking.
body
yes,
done.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
beautiful,
Beautiful.
gorgeous, funny, make good food, all this and that. Um, so I said something. I asked a question about like if your man is homophobic or whatever, like why are you with him or something like that, or like what does that make you or something. I asked that question, and I asked that question because I remember I was watching Jay Nice. I was a big fan of hers. Watched her throughout the pandemic. Her cooking videos, she was so funny.
Yeah.
And she was just motivated. I just enjoyed her. And she was on live. She had just got engaged, I believe, and had the beautiful rock. Loved it. And her man, she was talking about her man, like they were talking about P Valley, and it was pretty much given. I'm not watching that gay shit. Why got like because it was the last season where Uncle Clifford and
Little murder.
Lil Murda,
Uh,
like
I missed.
y'all know
Yeah.
T,
Yeah, we
right?
watch P
Yes.
Valley.
So it was that going on, and he was just like, so he was like, she was like, oh, he not watching it. He said he watched this stuff, and she was just like, cool with it. And I was like, I don't like that. That didn't make me feel good at all.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this is weird. Cause I know you have gay friends. I know you have gay makeup artists. I know you have gay people around you, and you have a man who doesn't want to watch a show that's representative of like what's literally happening in real life, what people don't want to talk about. That's weird. And it wasn't anything vulgar or gross, but he was so vulgar and gross about not wanting to experience or be a
Okay.
part of that art.
Yeah.
And it turned me off. And so I made the video, never put her name in it. It was just, I made it general. The video get crazy. There were so many stitches and
I feel like
people,
I do remember seeing the video
like,
too.
it went insane. But like, that was the lore behind it. But like, that's something I always go back to,
Yeah.
like me mentally knowing like that specific situation and seeing those things. And I immediately remove myself. I'm like, well, I don't want to be here anymore. Like I'm not welcome here. That's all.
Yeah.
Like there are so many
Yeah.
situations. I'm good. I wouldn't be
Unfortunately,
welcome.
I feel like unfortunately that's way more commonplace than a lot of cis women, especially cis black women, will admit to. Because niggas be homophobic. But I think that you gotta you have to have some scruples about yourself, obviously, and make a decision like, I'm not fucking with niggas like that. Because to me, honestly, with like I've watched P Valley with straight black men, and this is what Darrington do. Like when they would come on screen, he would just, he would just like look.
Get on the
It
phone a
would
little
be so
bit. Maybe
funny
that's when you
because
go to
it's
the
like, you feel
bathroom.
me? And that was just me observing him. Like, he was never vocal about nothing. It wasn't like, fuck this. He would just, like, do this right quick. Oh, it's off. Okay, da-da. And I personally feel like, even if you don't want to see it, because arguably, like, you can be like, I don't want to see no sexual shit on screen. But, like, that piece of it, like, why? Like, you're so loud and visceral in your reaction that says something deeper about you, if that makes sense. And I don't want to be around a nigga like that. I always...
Yeah, I can't.
I can't do no loud...
And I hate people, like, their first reaction. Like, if I were to go and say that specific story, if I would have told that story, the comments would have been, that's because he gay. That's because he really DL. It's like, no.
It's like, no,
That's
he's
not necessarily the
just
case. Sometimes people
right.
are just bigots and hateful.
Like, I don't know why we go there. And I feel like with me
I hate
dating, there's like two main things that I'm always cognizant of making very loudly. Like, one, you cannot be homophobic or transphobic around me. I don't play that, especially considering both of my siblings are gay. Like, that's so, like, that is so a part of my life. Like, no, like, I don't tolerate that. And then on top of that, I also, one of my best friends is a guy. So that's why I spoke on, like, the insecurity portion too. Like, because both of those things are not changing. I'm not changing my best friend, and I'm not changing my siblings. So those two things you need to be cool with. And I don't mean, like, pretend to be cool. I mean very, like, chill. And so I always do these kind of, like, tester things. Like, whenever I first start talking to a guy, I'll casually throw in, like, a gay story or something. I don't know. Or, like, my best friend's name. Like, oh, yeah, I was over at the White House. You know, just trying to test the waters. Like, yeah.
How you going to respond?
Oh, okay. Yeah, because... And so I kind of, like, go from there because, like, I want to know how you respond and what you say to certain things. Like, it tells me a lot, and those are just two things, like, I can't waver on, and I'm not going to. Like, I don't care what nobody say. I don't care, like, because that does reflect on you. Like, how would I look knowing I have two gay siblings dating a nigga who hates the gays?
And it puts you at risk, in my personal opinion. Like, especially if you're in a situation where you want to procreate with this person, you never know.
Exactly.
You push something on somebody, but you never know. Lil Boosie.
Poor daughter.
Waka Flocka. Well,
I mean, it's sad.
Poor kids.
And what more so, like, karma / well, look at how this turned out for you.
It'd be the same thing when with the colorist people. Like, how are you so colorist, but what about your kids? Like, you don't think the opportunity of you having, because let's put it, even if you high yellow like me and I date another high yellow nigga, both of my parents are brown skin. So it's like the possibility of you getting a child that does not necessarily look like you is there. So for you to be this hateful person within your own community, I'd be so confused. And conveniently speaking, it'd be a lot of light-skinned colorist women with brown-skinned kids. Why? Because they always like dark-skinned men.
Yeah. Well, because for the benefits. For the benefits and the optics, you know, for the benefits and optics. And I think a lot of times, like, people forget that, like, I look at the NFL as a big point of reference as to, like, when it comes to colorism, racism, and things. It's a great, to me, the NFL is such a great case study, because I feel like we're like, I feel like the NFL is like modern day gladiators in a way. We watch these people get damaged for the rest of their lives usually, and bet on them for sport. There are so many people with MAGA hats at home who have black favorite athletes who want to see them win, want their team to win, don't care about their rights at home, but want to make sure that they're doing the right things on the field and whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very interesting case study, and I think, like, the light skinned women with the dark skinned men and stuff like that plays a big part in that. Sherelle.
Fucking real.
And you know, I just found out they're not even fucking together no more. I didn't even know that.
I just saw that too.
I didn't know that going into watching the show.
Yes.
I just saw that this weekend.
I said, girl, I know you fucking lying.
But that wasn't
good for her though.
I mean,
good for her.
About time. I don't know why you started there. But
honestly, when they was
I get it.
Prenup,
that's a fine man.
I mean, you got 50 lemon kids, very fertile, but
50 lemon.
Well, that's how you know it's good. I mean, well.
That's why we was listening.
No, seriously.
Hey, I'm a virgin, but I was a whore in my past life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
E
And
came, y'all
that's
thought E
and
came body? That's why I
I'm
never with that challenge.
crying. Like there's certain things I can't say. Like you guys would judge me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm already like, I'm never beating a white man's whore allegations,
I'm
so
crying.
Okay.
hey,
Crying.
hey,
It
it
is
is
what
what
it
it
Hey,
is.
is.
life is life.
I've accepted. Like, I'm never beating a white man's whore allegations. Like, it's
The
okay.
spirit of Tamara.
Which is like insane because it's like to know me is like one of the first questions if I do like if I get with like a white man, who'd you vote for?
Hello,
You have
quickly.
to
Where were
ask
you
these
January
First,
6th?
questions. You
first
do.
and foremost.
Like I don't do the I can show you screenshots. Like I don't do the like in the, like like with the gay thing, like testing what no, I want to know.
Yeah,
Now,
let's go ahead
Tell
and
me.
just rip
How
it
do you feel
off.
about this?
Yeah,
yeah.
Actually, what do you feel about what's going on right now?
yeah.
I need to know. Like I
That's
before any
honestly,
like this is like like sliding my DMs.
yeah.
Hey, tell me
Yeah, I too.
I was
and
gonna
be
Because
say,
honest.
you'll be surprised with these niggas. Like, because I definitely really only date black men for sure. But I also am very like, my political stance is very very far left, and like, I don't care. I need you to be that way too. And
I need you to
even
have
if
some type
and
of
if
stance.
you're like I have a little bit of wiggle room for sure because I recognize that like I know that my politics are very radical. So I recognize that I give a little bit of a wiggle room, but I'm also going to be trying to convince you to come to the dark side, and you need to be okay with that. You need to be
Mm-hmm.
okay with me trying to use my propaganda against
your
you and
Beyonce
trying to
propaganda.
pull you down with
Real,
me. And I am going
real.
to be setting a scheme up to get you to come to the US with the bullshit.
No, you
I
know
need you
what?
to
It's
I
funny,
march
need to
like
be
with
a
ready.
me.
like a like a story. How you said you tell these stories. So when I be talking to dudes, like much like Smith, I be straight to the questions with certain shit. And again, homophobia is not something I play with, and especially since I have a brother who is like very niggerish, but like not
But for
homophobic at
real.
all. So I
Yeah,
always tell,
like I know it's possible.
like, so I know
T.
it's possible. So I always
Right.
tell this story that Darrington said when he was in high school. Mind you, this is when the names like Dior and Amiri was just getting popping, right? And so, depending on the nigga's reaction to this story, is I already know what time it is. I was like, when we was in high school, my brother would told me he was gonna name his son Dior, and the niggas be like, why? And he was like, because he said if he like a nigga, he gonna be like Dior, like that's a fly ass name. But if he's a gay nigga, he's gonna be a fashion makeup bust down badass bitch named Dior.
Fab.
He's gonna be fabulous, and it's like and like based on how they react to that, I already know everything I need to know. And what's even funnier about this story is Darrington was dead the fuck serious. He's like, no, it's a win-win. You can
No, I love
imagine
that actually. I never heard
a
that.
football player named
I
Dior,
like that.
or a man in a lace front named Dior. Either way, it's T. I said,
I like that
Hello.
actually.
Let me just go ahead and cover the
he said, I'm
spectrum real
cover the
quick.
bases. Like,
Really like
Hello.
that.
Yeah, let me just go
That's
ahead and
honestly
cover it
really
up.
fab.
Yeah, that's really the wave. Like I don't know. Like I need you,
Shout out to your
and
brother
that's
for
what
that.
I be thinking about when
I said,
when
no,
they
my
say
That's
equally
fab.
yoked.
16? Okay.
Yeah, like you ain't that.
ain't that.
Yeah,
I hope he
that's
keeps that.
yeah
Keep
for
that
I
for
real.
real.
actually,
That's really fab.
I asked him, I'm like, do you remember? He's like, no. He's like, I've been changing up. I'm like, no, nigga, that was T.
Stick to
You
that.
need to
Yeah, no,
stick to that. Strictly for
that's what
that.
we need actually.
And I love
Yeah,
Dior the brand. Like my Dior bag is my baby.
I'm
So
crying.
Dior.
So it's like yeah,
I really, 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 really like that. That's honestly like I'm like
one thing I
I'm like
love about a black. We are going to name our kids some things, okay?
Something.
And I
yeah.
just live that we maintain that. And I know there's going to be some demure babies in the future, and
There already
and
was.
that's what I love. And I live
I agree.
adore
Cause
Dior,
yeah,
demure.
I don't want kids, but like I have kids' names. And like I want like if I were to have a son, his name would be Smith.
T.
Cause I love it. It's a great first name in my opinion.
It's cute. It's like I love a name that
last
can
name
be
is the first
flipped
name.
and switched and like just all of the like it's just like, oh yeah, like that ease. Like I love a good solid name. Like when I hear somebody's name and I'm like, you were meant to be famous for something. Like that is you got a
Right.
name on you.
Like Horace, how his name is Horace Gold, and that's his real
Right,
name.
like,
I'm
Fab. Love
name.
Horace. Love Horace too.
Studio system, Louis B. Mayer ass name.
It's very
exactly.
vampire interview with the vampire.
Yes, like
Mind you,
Horse
I think he
actually
was
gives
telling us
Interview
that
with
he
the
was
Well,
watching
Vampire.
that.
he does.
He
Yeah,
literally gives
he
Interview with the
does.
Vampire.
he was literally telling us that he was watching that too. That's so crazy. Yeah, I just love a good solid name. I and I'm, I'm controversial in the way that I always tell people that like whenever, if and when I get married, like I won't be changing my last name because like I'm just so married to my name already. Like,
Really?
yeah, like no,
Let's ring a bell.
Oh,
like I just am Jamila Bell. Like I just am her.
honestly,
Like
yeah.
who? I think I would have an existential crisis if my name was changed. Kind of like imagine like me waking up with a nose job. Oh my god, who is this?
I feel that. I feel that. That's why I won't like. That's why I don't go by my. When people ask like, "What's your name?" Smith.
Mm,
Not like, "What's your first name?"
Smith.
As
Bitch,
far
you
as
see
you
it.
know.
Yes. I mean, and I honestly like the lore behind my name,
It's
Smith
funny
Woods,
because when we
is.
were doing the email stuff,
Mhm.
I scrolled past the email because your name came up, and I
Yeah,
said,
and I said, who is
"Who's
this?
this?"
Oh, the first name came up.
Yeah, it has your first
Yeah.
Do I
name.
look like that?
No, that's why I was
Be honest.
confused. Like,
Be honest.
yo, that doesn't.
Do I look like that?
That doesn't fit. It really doesn't.
Thank you.
That gives generational name.
My mama wanted to make sure it looked good on applications.
Mm,
She ain't that. Yeah.
Well, I was number like 250 something in the military with my full name.
yeah.
Yeah. ZAS, like my initials.
Nice.
So like it was, I was like, oh, very basic name. Thanks. But Smith Woods, it
That
eats. It
eats.
Is
eats.
it
I
from
think it eats.
is it from Legally Blonde? Is that the tie?
Well, he's half Targaryen.
What? Sorry, that's really funny.
I just figured
I'm
like
talking about, no, you serious. I'm sorry.
I just thought like
I'm sorry. I know you serious.
I
Legally
don't know,
Blonde
the
was one of my
cuntiness
favorite
of-
movies.
And I love movies
of
and
who
stuff
she
like that.
is. Like
Which
I
I
could
wanted to talk movies with you because oh my god.
Oh, you
Dang
saw
it. Oh, can we do a part two? Because I want to talk movies with you so
No,
bad.
no,
Oh
we
my
can
god.
totally do a part two.
I
We can
wanted to
totally
talk
do a part
movies with
two.
you so
What's
bad.
your
Oh my god,
favorite
both of y'all.
era
Because
of
I want to hear both.
movies?
But I'll get a name, Laura, real quick. Cause it's a lore I haven't like shared. I've been waiting on like me to sit down in like an all black room with a spotlight on me in a studio chair and like, well, this is why, or like on like well, Wendy don't have her show no more. Drew Barrymore show.
She gonna grab your
Maybe
She's
Sherry.
just
Like Drew, give me my space, babes. I need personal space.
she's gonna sit
You know
in your
she
lap
loves. She's gonna love you
and just
in
be
your
like,
skin.
I know. I'll be
Tell
like,
me.
hey, I have PTSD.
I need you to take 2 steps
Please,
back,
Miss
sister.
Drew.
I love you.
I'm crying.
But okay, so Smith Woods is in a way legally my name. So my daddy, who y'all see, like if y'all seen like me post my daddy, that's my daddy I grew up with. His last name is Smith. I found out in 2018 when I was 22 that he wasn't my biological father.
Gasp. The gag.
Yeah. Crazy. And my biological father's last name is Woods. So my name is both of my
Oh, I
dad's
actually love
names.
that though.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it's like
Okay.
not.
And the lore behind my biological father, who I've never met,
Oh.
I followed in his footsteps.
In the military?
He was in the Air Force, a cop in the Air Force. We went to the same base. He used to
Whoa.
model. We're the same height. We look just alike. He's flamboyant. I had a cousin, an older cousin who like knew him from like whenever him and my mom were there.
So your
They thought he was
biological
gay.
father is gay too, or not?
They thought he was.
Okay.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Wow. Back
He
in the
was
day,
because
they
he was
used to call it
flamboyant.
metrosexual. That's what they used to call
Yeah,
it.
he was
Early
very
2000s.
like some of my family thought he was, but he's married now and he's a pastor, so he's like he's very good at public speaking and all those things, very spiritual, and yeah, like we are
That is
insanely
crazy.
similar. And he like I had got a suit custom made when I was living overseas in Turkey, and he was like, yeah, like that's the exact same style that I had, like that I enjoy. I'm like, that's like I literally followed in his footsteps
Whoa.
and had no clue of his
Some
existence.
things is really
That's so
nature
alignment.
over
That's just
nurture.
yeah. It just
That's what
be
my friends
happening.
say.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
My brother is like my dad's carbon copy, and it's really weird sometimes when my aunts be like his sisters will look at him and be like, you just actually don't understand how much you act like your dad, like
Yeah.
at his age, at this age. Like I
Yeah.
feel that always blows me back so much.
It's genes are weird. 'Cause my parents say the same thing about my son. They're like, no, 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 I don't think you understand. It's actually kind of freaky sometimes when we're like looking at him because he's about to be 4 now. So it's really just like more so mannerisms and just certain things, and like they're like, no, this is exactly how you were as a young girl. So to see this and like, it's like they're reliving. They're kind of like, no, it's freaky. And even Jazz says the same thing because she's 5 years older than me. So she's like, no, like I
They
be
do the
kind of taken
same thing.
aback, and it's like I be watching
And it's
him
not
too, and
something
I'm like,
taught.
right. And it's weird because I watch him do things that I'm like, I didn't necessarily teach you that, but you're doing it. Like he does this face where he's always like, and I didn't even realize that I did it until my sister's girlfriend said, "Yeah, Noah got that from Gina. She does it all." I'm like, I didn't even know that I
I was just about to
did
say,
that.
you do that all the time. You'll be like,
I didn't even know I did, and we just think it's so funny. I'm like, this is
It's
blowing
beautiful in a
my
way.
mind.
yeah.
Like,
This would be a little scary, but it's
so
like
now
it's
you
so
have
beautiful. Yeah.
2 dads. Are you close with your biological dad now, or how was
No,
that? Oh,
Okay.
okay.
no.
Gotcha.
I asked him all the questions I wanted. Um, literally everything I
So
wanted
he
to
he
know.
knew that he had you out there, or did he
hmm
find out with you?
He knew like the whole time. My whole family knew,
Okay.
which made me and my daddy so close because I was like, damn,
He
like
ate
you've
that.
known this whole time that I wasn't
Yeah.
like your blood,
Yeah.
and like you got a whole faggot. I mean, you got a whole like you got a whole like you got a daughter as a son, and like you love me,
Uh,
like that's
you,
like you my nigga. Like damn, like
wait.
we locked
You want to
in.
hear what's so
You
funny?
are.
When
What?
Joe be dropping that word every time, it's
It's
jump scare.
so no jump scared. Literally, the
Oh,
funniest thing is like,
You,
so my sister does not use that term, but sometimes my brother will, and we just
wait,
laugh about it. And it's like when we were around what's his name, Mecca, in
Joe,
Houston. No, not Joe, the other boy, big, with the hips, big booty.
Frank,
What is his
Frankie.
name? Not Frankie. Um, he goes by A.L. Bailey, but I think his name is where the hell did
Uh
Mecca
oh,
go? Um, her computer probably crashed now. Oh my gosh, what is his name? I think his name is like Aubrey. It's not Aubrey, but it's something like that. I can't think of it. But his name on TikTok is like A.L. Bailey. He's a stylist. And we were out and um he doesn't use that term, but what's his name does. And so when he said, he was like, oh no, oh no, 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 no. And we were like, oh, and we're like, it's so funny because it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you know how like there's some black people who don't say nigga? It'd be like,
yeah,
oh.
it is like that.
And
It's
it's so funny to me every
but
time
me,
I
I love it.
interact with.
It's my favorite word. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm a black faggot, and I love it. That's me.
Fun fact about me. I
like, like I'm like, yeah.
oh
I
my
mean, that
gosh.
word has never phased me. I remember when
That is
there
so
was a
funny.
situation when I was in Turkey, and like one of the military guys called me like that, and he flipped the chair and stuff, and I was like, relax.
Oh God.
And it wasn't even like it wasn't in a mean way. Mecca, you
Yeah.
good?
I'm gonna just go ahead and
Oh.
stop our recording. But you can go ahead and give them the people where you can they can follow you and all the things.
I am Smith.Woods on TikTok, Smithwoods underscore underscore. And this has been amazing. Connect with me. I talk about movies, media, makeup, and all different types of things. I just be yapping. But mainly, if you want to talk about a good movie or show or something like that, want some good makeup reviews, products, and stuff, and just talk about different things really raw and my honest thoughts,
Are you
follow
going
me,
on
connect with
YouTube?
me. Yes, Smith.Woods. I think. But
Okay.
Smith.Woods, you should be able to find me there as
Period,
well.
period, period. Well,
And I
thank
have all
you
my stuff linked.
so much. We definitely have to have a part 2 so we can get into the movies for
Yes. Oh
sure.
my
But
God.
this has been
I
so
want you to start
fun.
posting more movie reviews, please.
I know I really need to get in that bag. I just be posting whatever's on my mind. I want to be a little bit more structured just so I can kind of like have a little bit more organization, because I know a lot of people want, like, whenever I get into that bag or even like my doula bag, they're like, wait, no more, and I'm like, oh, I've been getting
Yes.
y'all want that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna definitely start posting more stuff like that, because I really want to start kind of like transitioning to be more in that space anyway. So
It's needed. I'm trying to push that like more people who don't look like us in that world, because right now it's a
yeah,
bunch of white men
exactly.
in that realm, and it's really hard to break through and talk about things and give our perspective. So I would love, like, one, because I love your thoughts and views, and I think you
Thank
give
you.
such nuanced takes, and
Thank
so
you.
I would really really enjoy just as a viewer and
Yeah,
stuff. But also I would love to have somebody like to bounce off of. You know what I mean?
exactly,
So for like,
exactly.
yeah. So for selfish reasons, as a
I shall,
fan, yeah,
I shall.
please.
Well,
I'll be on
thank
your
you
neck.
so much.
Thank y'all so much
Seriously,
for having
seriously.
me.
Of